Bao Island Storyteller, Journey to the West. Hey kids, welcome to Bao Island. On Bao Island, every story has a taste. Today's taste is Pacific salt and smoky pressed duck on the wind. This episode, we're in Toucheng. Today's story, Sun Wukong versus the Black Bear.
Welcome back to the Bao Island bus. I'm your captain. We've driven down the Yilan coast a little way and arrived in Toucheng, a small, quiet township at the very northeastern corner of Taiwan where the central mountain range practically walks into the sea.
Excitedly, I can see the Pacific. It's right there. And the waves, they're big.
Wai'ao Beach, just a few minutes from here, is one of Taiwan's most famous surfing spots. The waves that roll in here come straight from the open Pacific. They travel thousands of kilometers without hitting anything, so by the time they arrive at this beach, they're clean and powerful.
There are surfers out there right now. In the middle of the week. Just out there riding waves like it's a perfectly normal thing to do before lunch.
Toucheng Old Street runs just inland from here. It was one of the most important port towns in Yilan during the Qing dynasty. Goods moving in and out, traders, sailors, a real commercial heart. The old red brick buildings are still here if you look carefully.
Old port town, big surf beach, mountains right behind. How is this place not more famous?
Some places are exactly as good as they look. Ready for the story? There's something here, something the Pacific wind has been curing on this coast for generations, dark, smoky, pressed flat and concentrated, carrying every layer of salt air and patience in a single thin slice.
Excited, what is it? Tell me.
Take a guess.
Mouth full, let me take a bite first. Excitedly, I found the pressed duck. This is a Yilan specialty, you really can't get the real thing anywhere else. Let me explain what it is.
Please.
So they take whole ducks, plump Yilan ducks, and they cure them. First rubbed with salt and spices, then pressed flat, like flattened out, and then dried and smoked. The result is this thin, deep brown, fragrant piece of duck that's been completely transformed by the process. You eat it cold, sliced thin.
It's served on everything around here. On rice, with congee, as a snack, in noodles.
The flavor is intense. Salty, smoky, deeply savory, a little bit like the best jerky you've ever had, but more delicate. Every bite has this concentrated duckiness. And it's chewy in the best possible way, the kind of chewy that makes you slow down and appreciate it.
The pressing process removes moisture and concentrates everything, the flavor, the texture, the character of the duck.
Stress and pressure make things better. That's true for pressed duck and for Sun Wukong right now.
Laughing, perfect segue. Chapter 17. When we left off, the golden robe had been stolen by the black bear spirit. Sun Wukong went to fight the bear, found he couldn't win alone, and came back to Tang Monk empty-handed.
That must have hurt.
He didn't let it show. He went and thought about it alone for a while, staring at the sky. Then he made a decision. He said, I know who can help.
Guanyin.
Guanyin, the goddess of mercy, the bodhisattva who lives on Patalaka Mountain in the South Sea. She's the one who originally sent Tang Monk on this journey, who gave him the golden robe, who recruited Sun Wukong and the other disciples. If anyone knows how to handle a situation that Sun Wukong can't solve by force, it's her.
So he flew to the South Sea.
He flew south across the whole country, out over the ocean all the way to Patalaka Mountain. When he arrived, Guanyin was in her bamboo grove, surrounded by her celestial attendants.
What was her reaction when she saw Sun Wukong show up uninvited?
She already knew why he was there. Guanyin looked at Sun Wukong for a long moment. Then she said, "You've come about the robe."
Of course she knew.
Sun Wukong bowed, which, coming from him, means a lot, and explained everything. The temple, the abbot, the fire, the bear. Guanyin listened without interrupting. Then she said, "I know the black bear spirit. He is powerful and he is proud. You cannot beat him the way you've been trying, strength against strength. We need something different."
She had a plan already?
She always has a plan. She turned to her attendant and asked for something, a small glass bottle, the kind used to carry medicine.
Slowly, why does she need a bottle?
She explained, "The black bear spirit is holding a grand ceremony tomorrow to celebrate getting the golden robe. He'll be hosting guests, eating, drinking. When he sits down to eat, he'll be offered pills. Medicine pills." She looked at Sun Wukong. "Sun Wukong, you can transform into anything."
Realizing, she wants him to turn into a pill?
Sun Wukong stared at her. He said, "You want me to become a pill?" She said, "I want you to become a pill. A small, perfectly normal-looking red pill. You will be placed in this bottle. When the bear is given medicine at his banquet, he'll swallow you."
Laughing in disbelief, and then what?
"And then," said Guanyin, "you will be inside him. And you will do what you do best."
'Cause absolute chaos.
Smiling, from the inside.
This is the most creative plan in the history of this story. Guanyin is amazing.
She gets things done. She also said, "I will go with you. I'll disguise myself as a Taoist priest, a wandering holy man who sells medicine. You'll be the medicine I'm selling."
She's going undercover too.
The goddess of mercy, one of the most venerated beings in Buddhism, is going to dress up as a medicine peddler and trick a bear into swallowing a monkey.
Laughing, I love this story so much.
We're walking down to Wai'ao. The waves are really coming in today.
Look at these surfers. They're just catching wave after wave, paddling out, waiting, and then suddenly this wall of water lifts them up and they're standing and flying forward. How do they make it look so easy?
They don't. It took years of getting wiped out, swallowed by waves, and trying again.
Getting swallowed by something big, and coming back up, seems to be today's theme.
Wai'ao draws surfers from all over Asia. The break here is consistent but not too extreme, good for learning, good for experienced surfers too. The beach stretches for about 2 kilometers, and the mountains form a wall behind it.
You know what strikes me? The surfers aren't fighting the waves. They're reading them. They wait for the right one, and they go with it.
Guanyin does that. She doesn't fight the bear directly. She reads the situation and moves with it.
And Sun Wukong is learning, slowly, that sometimes going with something, instead of hitting it head-on, is how you win.
Slowly is the key word.
Laughing, very slowly.
Guanyin transformed herself into an elderly Taoist with a long gray beard and a worn robe. Sun Wukong shrank himself down, all that enormous power compressed into something the size of a grape, and became a small red pill. Guanyin placed him carefully in the glass bottle.
Did that feel weird? Being a pill?
He was Sun Wukong inside a pill. So probably more uncomfortable than weird. But he committed to the plan.
Okay. Then what?
Guanyin walked to the cave. She knocked. The bear's servants answered the door. The old Taoist announced herself, medicine for the great king. The finest immortality pills in the realm. I heard the great king is holding a banquet. What better time to take a pill for long life?
The bear let her in?
He was having a party. He was feeling generous. He saw an old Taoist offering rare medicine, why not? He took the bottle, looked inside, and saw the red pill.
And he just swallowed it? No suspicion at all?
He hesitated for exactly 1 moment. Then he thought, what could one little pill do to me? I'm the most powerful demon in these mountains. He swallowed it.
Delighted, he swallowed Sun Wukong.
For about 3 seconds, nothing happened. The banquet continued. The bear raised his cup.
And then?
Sun Wukong uncurled inside the bear's stomach and grew back to full size.
Inside the bear.
He started doing cartwheels. He turned into his full form with the golden staff. He banged on the bear's ribs. He bounced off the stomach walls. He shouted, "Return the robe! Return the robe," from inside the bear's body.
Laughing uncontrollably, the bear is being driven insane from the inside.
The bear dropped his cup. He lurched forward, then backward. His guests scattered. He fell to his knees. The pain from inside was extraordinary, not a wound you could fight, not an enemy you could see.
He had to surrender.
He had no choice. He fell to the ground, howling, and gasped out, "I'll give it back. I'll give it back. Please stop."
Sun Wukong came back out?
He returned to his normal size and stepped out. Dusted himself off. Picked up the golden robe from where the bear had dropped it.
That was the most ridiculous and most perfect battle in the whole story.
Let's sit down and eat. The seafood here in Toucheng is as fresh as it gets.
Happily, yes. We're at a little seafood place near the old street. Everything in front of me was caught this morning. The fishermen here go out at night and come back before dawn. I have steamed clams in garlic and rice wine, the shells just barely opened, the clams still tender and slightly sweet. And a grilled squid, char on the outside, tender on the inside, served with a vinegary dipping sauce.
Toucheng has one of the smaller fishing harbors in Yilan. Not a big commercial port, mostly small boats, families who've been fishing here for generations.
Eating, the clams. So sweet. The garlic and rice wine just lift the brine of the sea, it's like the clam is announcing itself.
The whole coast east of the mountains has this character: smaller scale, family operated, the food goes from sea to table the same day.
This is exactly why you drive over the mountain. Everything on the west side is bigger and louder. Everything over here is realer, somehow.
Here's what strikes me about this chapter. Guanyin could have fought the bear directly. She is vastly more powerful than the black bear spirit. She could have ended this in seconds.
Why didn't she?
Because that wasn't the lesson. The lesson wasn't defeat the bear. The lesson was for Sun Wukong that clever, creative problem-solving beats raw strength. That asking for help is not weakness. That the most powerful being in the room is sometimes the one who chooses not to fight.
She gave Sun Wukong a role in the solution.
Exactly. She could have just done it herself. But she brought him along, gave him the starring part as the pill, and let him be the one who won.
Thoughtfully, she teaches by doing. She doesn't lecture. She just shows you a different way and lets you live it.
That's what the best teachers do.
Quietly, Master Saboti did that too.
Yes. Sun Wukong has had very good teachers. He doesn't always realize it.
Wait, what happened to the black bear spirit after he surrendered?
This is the part that surprises people. Guanyin didn't destroy him. She didn't lock him up. She looked at him kneeling on the ground, exhausted and beaten, and she said, "Would you like to be my guardian? At my mountain?"
She offered him a job?
He had power. He had presence. He'd made a mistake, a serious one, out of greed. But he wasn't fundamentally evil. And Guanyin sees what people could become, not just what they are.
The bear who stole the robe became Guanyin's bodyguard?
A guardian of the Mountain of Mercy. Not a bad ending for a demon who caused a great deal of trouble.
Quietly, she turned an enemy into a protector.
She does that. It's a pattern.
That's more impressive than winning a fight, isn't it?
Much more impressive.
We're walking through the old street now. These buildings are from the late Qing and early Japanese colonial periods: red brick, narrow shophouse fronts, the second floors with decorative facades. Most of the buildings are lived in. People have shops on the ground floor and live upstairs.
It's such a quiet town. You'd walk past it on the highway and have no idea there's this old street tucked away here.
That's how most of Taiwan's old streets are. You have to slow down and turn in off the main road.
The best things are always a little off the main road.
The Toucheng area was also where the Qing government established the earliest administrative office in Yilan, so this is historically the front door of the whole county.
Front door of Yilan. And the back of it is the mountains. I like a place that has clear geography, you know where you are.
Tang Monk always knows the direction west. He doesn't always know what's in the way. But he knows where he's going.
Maybe that's enough. Direction first, obstacle second.
Time to wrap up. The Pacific is turning gold in the late afternoon.
Today we came to Toucheng in Yilan Old Port Town, Pacific Surf Beach, mountains right at the door. We ate Yilan pressed duck, that intensely flavored, smoky, pressed flat specialty that you can't really find anywhere else, and fresh local seafood caught this morning, clams and squid as good as any you'll find on this island. And we followed Sun Wukong as he did something rare. He admitted he needed help, flew to the South Sea, found Guanyin, and came back with the most unexpected battle plan in the story. He turned into a pill. Got swallowed by a bear. Won from the inside.
He got swallowed and still won. That's the energy.
And the golden robe is back. Tang Monk has it. The team is reunited.
What's next?
Next time, we head further south to Toucheng, famous for the best scallions in all of Taiwan. And the story moves ahead a long time, a new village, a family being terrorized by a pig monster, and Sun Wukong doing some of his best undercover work yet. A very important new team member is about to join.
Gasp, Pixie.
Softly, sometimes the bravest thing is asking for help. On Bao Island, stories grow up with you.